Tako, sedaj pa vabim našega gosta, namestnika direktorice Direktorata za spretnosti in delovna mesta, gospoda Egberta Holthuisa, ki bo govoril o pomenu izobraževanja odraslih. Egbert, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Vonka. And in fact, I could hear everything thanks to the fantastic interpreters and the technicians. I mean, ICT skills are very much needed for a complex meeting like this one, including many online visitors. So once again, many thanks to the Adult Education Center for organizing this, and the Ministry of Education, of course, and Labor, Social Affairs, and all of you. In particular, also the European House, Janea, fantastic. I must say, I'm also very impressed by this fantastic poster, which I mean, there's no need to have a long presentation if you look at what is presented there. So much appreciated, and also the fact that the national coordinators are online. Svonka was very active in that area also. And a lot of appreciation, I think, from Jana and myself and the whole Directorate, from my director and the Director General, how Slovenia organized this European year. I think we were all somewhat surprised that we had to do it. Then in Slovenia, with this interministerial group, the Ministry of Labor, Ministry of Education, and all the stakeholders which are here present, you did a wonderful job. And I think it marries well with 20 years of Slovenia in the EU and all the efforts you have already done in the area of skills. So once again, our sincere compliments. And I don't think we have to set out in length why we needed a year. We know that the SMEs in Slovenia and in Europe all try to find the people they need. They have to turn down clients. You have to wait for repairs at your home, not only in Slovenia, but everywhere. And in Europe, we have many occupations for which we have severe shortages, and this hold back society and, of course, industrial competitiveness. And then we have this, but in addition, we have this increasing need for digital skills, and so many individuals who don't dispose for it have to be trained in that. So we have different challenges at the same time. And these challenges are also appearing in Slovenia, in particular also in the ICT field, where Slovenian companies are on the top of European companies lacking ICT skills. And then the smart specialization. I mean, we know from our President of the European Commission the initiatives to be more reliant on European companies in important areas, including pharmaceuticals, defense, and other key industries. And this also will require skills in order for Europe to have a competitive edge, in particular also in these areas. But in having said this, how do we solve this? I mean, we are here together with the European year and beyond to see how we can solve it. And I mean, in Slovenia, you have now the highest employment and lowest unemployment level, so there's not a lot of labor reserve. So therefore, the companies have difficulties in finding the new staff, which we just mentioned. And the issue is also that these labor shortages are, of course, cyclical and structural factors. So we hope that also in the future we will have labor shortages, because it shows that the economy and the society is doing well, obviously. But under these circumstances and the fact that we have the ministries here and all the training and education institutes, so there's a lot of pressure now on you, policymakers, to see how we can equip the labor force with the right skills. And this interaction with business, including many of the small and medium-sized enterprises, is super important. Of course, also the most important is to involve those that need the training, and you reach out to people, and people complain a lot because they say, I'm too busy to be trained. So you have to help them to free time in order to be able to invest in their future, in the interest of society and for themselves. And then what is also interesting is that ensuring adequate skills and thinking about how to do that is a skill in itself, because it's a highly scientific, so to speak, trades. So how do you measure the skills needs? And we will have the public employment services presenting a forecasting tool, but also how to ensure that people are motivated, have the time, and are aware of the skills they need is a skill in itself. So all of this, the European Year of Skills helped us to develop these instruments, which we are now going to use in the years after now. I think Slovenia is starting off very well on this. We had a look at the history of education in Slovenia. Jana found this super interesting publication where we read that already after the Second World War that many Slovenians, and you're all very young, so you were not part of that, went to evening schools, and you acquired skills, your parents, and which help you to develop yourself. And I think this tradition of skilling and upskilling is there. And I must also say that in Slovenia, you have also to be proud of the fact that early childhood education is the school dropouts is very limited. So the basis is there. At the same time, and we discussed it with Janea also, trend is somewhat to be reversed, because in particular in Slovenia, we see also a drop in adult education attendance. So these things we have to figure out how to reverse that trend. At the European level, we have the headline targets. They have been mentioned by previous speakers. For example, ensuring that at least 60% of all adults participate in training annual by 2030, and this is something which we have to strive after. And we have to do it even more because of the demographic situation in Slovenia and the EU. So we have to use the labor reserve. And what I find also very interesting here, we have also civil society organizations. We talk about vulnerable people that are very far from the labor market, but I think civil society organizations meet people, and people have often much more potential than they think. And in Slovenia, we have a very successful Food for the Most Deprived program with the Red Cross and Caritas, and these people visit people in their homes, and maybe also there we can unlock potential. So in short, the key message is in present circumstances, we need to promote adult education. Slovenia is, I think, set to make this campaign a success, and I know we will now very soon launch the national-wide campaign to promote adult learning, and all of us look very much forward to see the results of that. And what is interesting is that you will reach out to local communities, that you will going to visit the whole country and unlock the potential there. I already talked about the public employment services, which is very, very active in Slovenia, and we will hear a little bit later how to predict the skills. And I think this is crucial, because if people start following training and they invest their own time and the time of their employer, and then find out that these skills do not match the labor demand for the future, it's somewhat disappointing. So this forecasting of skills needs, even if very complex, is very, very important. And the fact that the public employment services are in so close contact with the companies, including medium-sized enterprises, will help them to do a good job there. So I want to conclude by again congratulating the Slovenian government because of this enhanced cooperation between social partners, the industry, education and training providers. That you look at formal training, and as some of the previous speakers said, also informal training. I'm very happy that we have the managing authorities here. I've been working for more than 7 years with the Ministry of Cohesion and Regional Development, and really applaud all the excellent work they do, because you have to put the money where the ambitions are, and the ambitions are certainly in up and reskilling here in Slovenia, and the ESF Plus is there next to the other funds, Recovery and Resilience Facility, to help you. So once again, my sincere congratulations to all of you for having done this successful year, and the highlights which we saw speak for themselves. Once again, I would also like to thank those participating online and the coordinators of the European Year of Skills in Slovenia and other member states. I think now the real work starts, and wish you a lot of success, because it's of interest to the Slovenian society and to the individuals concerned. So people motivated to find the way in this society. Many thanks.